Hello everyone, this is Roger from Almost in Full Color. A new month means we got 4 new games that were free with Twitch Prime, so let's get into it. So June 2019 brought us 10 Second Ninja, Strike Bold, Metronomicon, and Aegis Defenders. So let's start by talking about 10 Second Ninja, which came out on July 19th, 2016. It's normally $10 and got a rating of 76. In total, this game was about an hour and 20 minutes long, and 10 Second Ninja, implied by the name, is a puzzle platformer where you have 10 seconds to beat each level. I will note that this isn't really too much of a platformer game. I'm not like dodging enemies or nothing. It's more about solving the puzzles in 10 seconds. So it's more like speed running, I would say, than anything else. When I first saw the level selection area, it reminded me a lot of Mega Man. I had just areas I could pick, but then I realized, oh, I have to do them in order, but it gave like the Mega Man feel. This was a pretty cool story with Great Beer and Benji. They were two main characters here, and it was like a comedic story. It wasn't like groundbreaking. I wasn't like immersed by the story, but it was enough to keep you entertained. So I had fun with that. The puzzle aspect was fun. You had 10 seconds to figure this out, and a lot of it got difficult over time. They did add this little guide option so you can get the puzzle solved for you, and you had to play these little arcade games in order to get it. So that was there, and then they had the concept of these hidden discs that unlocked bonus levels and secret areas. You got outfits, and then there was a rating system like most puzzle games to try to get 3 stars. So there's some life to this. This was only an hour and 20 minutes. I mean, it's called 10 Second Ninja, so with each level about 10 seconds. You may replay them a couple times to win, but the game's going to be relatively short. But overall, I recommend this as a download. It was fun and challenging for me, so I hope you enjoyed that one. Next up, we have Strike Bold, which came out April 1st, 2016, oddly enough. It was $10 and got a rating of 70. The gameplay was an hour for me, and this was a dodgeball game that was inspired by the 70s. So you saw like your stereotypical athletes there. The clothing was from the 70s, typical 70s area people. You had hippies floating around, lifeguards, stuff like that. This was weird. The first level was kind of normal. It was like you're in a dodgeball tournament. And I was like, okay, this game's going to be kind of a cool little tournament thing. Then it just goes haywire. Your top opponents get kidnapped. And then, next thing you know, the second level, you're fighting hippies in a bus. This is designed for co-op play. And it was fun with the PC character. So, they weren't bad. They weren't great either, but you kind of moved around. And they incorporate where the AI you weren't heavily relied on. Each level, you had mini goals, so you had 3 things you can do. The thing I didn't care for was the healing component. So, when one of your characters got knocked down, you could revive them. It feels kind of unfair because your opponents didn't have that. So it was kind of weird in some levels where if you just had one guy up, you could keep going and not really be in too much danger. Overall, I recommend a download for this. It was fun. It was odd, but entertaining. I never was bored during the hour of play. Again, it is short. So now let's get into Metronomicon. Sorry about pronouncing that name. I have to pause every time. This came out September 19, 2016. Got 79 on Metacritic. And is normally about $20. This game is about 5 to 6 hours to complete. And it was released on consoles a year later. And this was a mix of rhythm and RPG. You fight by completing the tracks on the music track. But you had to pay attention to strength and weaknesses. So you may have a guy that was earth-based who would be strong against lightning. So you had your elements there. Physical strength was an element which countered each other. And then you had 4 elements, was earth, lightning, water, and fire. And depending on your character and how long you did the tracks for, so you would have about 2 tiers of tracks. So if you complete the first tier, you could do 1 move. Complete both tiers, you do another move. So you kind of wanted to switch through. This was a little light on the RPG side. The menu interactions could have been better. When you get new party members, you can't really compare It was more you had to know your characters. I kind of wish they would have touched up on the menu a little bit more. The story did not hold me. It was about graduates that were off to fight party aliens. That didn't hold me, but the gameplay was really fun. And what shocked me the most was the music. There was a lot of electronica, indie artists, chiptunes and all. And I even recognized Mega Man was one of them. That's a hip-hop artist I listen to. So they actually reached out and had pretty good music. For not having many popular songs, I was really entertained by the music of the game. Also, it was fun because I would complete a move from one character. The tracks would stop following in their lane, so you had to use other characters there. And that made it fun, and you had to pay attention. I did lose sometimes just by not paying attention, trying to complete tracks instead of paying attention to the weakness of the enemy. Overall, I recommend this as a download. I had a lot of fun with this. Last up was Aegis Defenders, which came out February 8th, 2018. It's $20 normally, and it's a 75 on Metacritic. Overall, this game is 10 hours, and I did not complete this one, for a heads up. But this was a mix of an RPG tower defense game. So you would go through a level, and near the end of the level, you would have something to protect or guard, and then you would use your characters to build. You had two main characters, Clue and her grandfather, Bart. And these were rune hunters who start off, you're kind of like, think of them like junkyard people that'll find scrap and sell it. And then you hear about this evil empire and find a weapon that you need to stop them from using. The weapon's called Aegis, so Aegis Defenders makes sense in the name. So the story was actually really good. I was enjoying the story while playing it. The graphics were entertaining. This was the 8-bit style. But the game mechanics was awesome. So Clue was blue. Bart was yellow, and enemies would be yellow or blue, and then you got mixed with red enemies, and you had to use the strength of the character. So yellow hurt yellow, blue hurt blue, and you would have to build your defenses to what was coming out. They will show you a light, so you had to prepare. If it's blue, that means more blue enemies would come out, and you were able to combine weapons. So Bart built these turrets while Clue would lay bombs or traps, and you could combine them. So I could play a bomb down and then put a block down from Bart, and then make a turret gun that shot blue ammo. When you got your third person, they did red, and they were more fire-based, and you could combine that to shoot arrows out of the turrets instead of yellow bullets. So the mechanics was really good. I had a lot of fun with that. The AI could be annoying. In this scene here, you see I have two turrets for this little defense, and when I'm not controlling one, they just shoot in that straight line. They didn't really diverge too much. So you had to go back and forth. With that note, this game is designed to be 2 players, and this really showed having 2 players would have made this game a lot more fun. Once I got the third party member, I was starting to notice the pain of being 1 player because you had to switch through, monitor a lot, and move around, but I was always busy, so I wasn't bored during the tower defense. The other gripe I had was shooting. You could shoot left, right, or diagonal upwards, but you couldn't shoot straight up. You couldn't shoot downwards diagonal. So this was like a little limitation, and sometimes I had issues where I had to figure that out. But overall, I did enjoy this a lot. This was the game I thought I was going to have the most trouble with, so I would recommend a download for this. This was really good. So this is a first. I recommend download of all 4 of these games. Again, these are my opinions, so let's look back and see the positive and negatives of each game. 10 Second Ninja was very puzzle-based. If you notice the theme of these 4 games, they were kind of 2 genres mixed into one. So this was a platformer puzzle. The pros was it was very fun and challenging. I had that. The con, it is short. If you're looking for a platformer game, 10 Second Ninja is not going to be that for you, so you may want to skip it if that's purely your genre. Strike Bold, again, the con here is short gameplay. Con, pro, depending how you look at it. This is an odd game. It had a weird sense of humor. It was odd, but I enjoyed it. So that was the pro there. It was a fun game. And this is more of a couch game. You could do co-op or you could fight each other. I think more as a party game, this has more life. So if you're into that, you will have fun with Strike Bold. Metronomicon. It was very fun. I enjoyed it, pro. Obviously, if you're looking for a hardcore RPG, you're not going to find it in this game. It was enough to keep you busy, but it was on the simpler side, but I enjoyed that. And if you don't like rhythm games, I know there's a crowd of people that can't do well on those. This game isn't for you, but if you do like rhythm games, I did find it challenging enough to keep me entertained. Aegis Defenders. This was a cool RPG with a different style. Again, this was kind of tower defense mixed in. And again, the con here would be if you don't like tower defense. Since these games had two genres, if there's a genre you don't care for, you may not want to download these games. The other thing for Aegis Defenders, the AI was a little of an annoying downside. If you get frustrated with AI characters, you may not want to download it, but I do recommend at least trying Aegis Defenders. So overall, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe below, and click the bell to get more gaming news, reviews, and gameplay. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed the video.